And I'm going to start out with Representative Wes Allen. And we just want to thank Wes for the job he's done to help Pike County move along. And we have a plaque for the Honorable Wes Allen, and I would like to read this for Wes. Over the past several years, the state's growing rural health care crisis has forced many small hospitals to contract their operations over to larger entities. However, the services provided by these contractors entities previously did not meet the technical definition provided in the state governing the county debt set-off program, allowing many of the debts owed to rural healthcare providers to go uncollected. The enactment of the technical amendment sponsored by Representative Allen to the authorizing statute now ensures county healthcare authorities may continue to participate in the program, even if they do contract with an outside entity to provide financial or administrative management. This law became effective May the 15th, 2019. And we thank Wes Allen for his service and also for helping us with the road bill. That was a tremendous help to rural counties, and we thank you for your support of that. Judge, if you'll come on up. Judge, I'm sorry. See how you doing? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Judge Bunn.
Gentlemen, good to see you. Two things, same vein. I have our probate accountant's resignation. Asked for y'all to accept that it be effective December 2nd, 2019. And we have been advertising for a probate accountant. And I'd like to reopen that application process to be advertised for another 2 weeks, closing 3.
Okay.
I just think that it's good business for us to make sure we have a large enough pool to choose from. It's a very important job. And so we'd ask to be able to reopen that.
Questions? Comments?
And open advertising good for what, 3 months, 6 months?
You have to ask McKenzie.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The advertisement, how long is it good for?
It's for, the advertisement is good for 6 months, what he's already gotten, but I think he's wanting to extend it from the 2 weeks that are required for the advertisement. You want to extend it for another 2 weeks of advertisement for the job,
Correct.
correct?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if the holidays have got us messed up, but we had several people that had made it known that they were going to, and that we didn't see that information. Like I said, I would prefer a larger pool before we start doing our interviews. And I do have a copy of the resignation letter that I'll give to McKenzie. Other than that, we just appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day. Next, it is my pleasure to welcome David Jones with UPI out of Mobile to Pike County. This is one of our new business partners coming into this area, and we're so thankful to have them with us. And David's going to come up and say a few things.
Well, first off, we're glad to be here. Without the help of y'all, the commission, working hard behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see in everyday life. Mr. Lunsford and Ms. Gaylord with the Economic Development Board has been tremendous with helping us with this, as y'all know, with all y'all's hard work that people don't get to see. And we really, this is a breath of fresh air to come out of a big city and a bigger, tighter county to somewhere where it's a little more relaxed and easier to do business. I can honestly say that this is a business-oriented county, and we're surely proud to be here. Quick overview, the facility will be roughly 78,000 square feet within a 5-year period, we're hoping to hire at least 80 local people. We made the promise to y'all that we would spend our money in the county as much as possible. We've already bought a truck from the local Ford dealer, a trailer from Paradise Homes. We're setting up accounts with local people in all the parts that we'll be doing business with. We just can't say enough about the help y'all have given us to provide jobs in this county and surrounding counties if we need to. We'll be running roughly 80 trucks a day in and out of the facility once it's fully staffed. We're moving dirt now. We've hired both a local dirt contractor and a local building contractor. So it's just a pleasure to be able to be up here and do business with people like y'all.
Questions and comments?
Since it's in my district, I am proud to see you.
The only thing we gotta do is change that hat you was wearing and we'll get along good.
Go ahead, Chad.
Now, I know that we know a lot of this stuff, but tell everybody when you plan on opening, what you plan on making, all those things.
The facility will actually be probably, if not the largest ever in Alabama, one of the largest. We'll start, hopefully the startup date will be June the 1st. We'll start making concrete pipe for road constructions. The largest diameter will be 140 inches to start off with, down to 15 inches. The future of the project will be, sewer manholes, storm manholes, arch bridges. We do all this in Mobile already, but this plant will actually be 4 times larger than what we have in Mobile. So with y'all's commitment to us, and as easy, honestly, as y'all are making things for us, we're going to, really make this facility a lot larger than what we have in Mobile today.
Go ahead and tell us your initial investment here for us.
Between $12 and $15 million.
Great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank y'all.
Thank you for locating me.
There's not too many commissioners come to a job site in the dirt either, but there's been a few already out there. So, we can't say enough. Really, when you leave the southern part of Alabama where we're at now and come here, it's almost like a vacation for us. So,
Thank you for being here.
yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Isaiah Scott's with the Boys and Girls Club. Come on up, Isaiah.
First, good afternoon. I just came tonight. I want to thank you all for everything that you do and you all allow us to do as board members for the Boys and Girls Club. This year, we were able to service 224 kids. Those are unduplicated numbers. And that's a large part because of the work that you all do. And come here tonight, I share emails with Commissioner Homer, and I jump down Robin's throat whenever we're in Walmart together. But I officially just want to let you all know that we appreciate every dollar that you send our way, the support that you all give, and the continued advocacy that you all have for our kids.
Thank you, Isaiah. That's a great program for the youth of our community, and we
Yes, sir.
appreciate what y'all do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else? Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Flowers is not in. Okay. We'll move on. Come on, Mr. Russell. Engineer's report.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
We have a couple of items under new business. The first item is the project update, and I handed out a fresh copy of that to you. It's no different than what's in your agenda package, but for some reason the highlights didn't come through in the copies. So that's the only reason I handed out an extra copy, but any changes from the last report are highlighted there. The second item under new business is personnel. So we wanted to probably ask you, if you would, to suspend the rules in the regular meeting so we can go ahead and start the advertisement for Mechanic 3 in-house, which we have in the budget. And we also handed out to you there, it's not in your agenda, but a memo recommending permanent status for an employee who's completed his 6-month probationary period. And then under current business, the first item that we have there is Well, actually, on the front of your agenda, the first one listed there is the industrial access project. And the only thing we have for you tonight on that is the agreement, the engineering agreement for preliminary engineering for the entrance for UPI. And we forwarded that to give the administrator and chairman a chance to try to locate
We
a
did,
funding source for that.
we found what we need, and we'll talk about it more in depth when we get to the
Okay.
regular meeting
Okay.
at McKenzie's report.
All right, and the second thing we have is the CDBG application for County Road 7749 and 2256. As far as I know, we have not received any formal notice or anything in writing from ADECA yet, but I did call and speak to,
We don't have anything formally, but we were told that we did not get funded.
right, well, that's what I was getting at. I spoke with them as well, spoke with an ADECA official who informed me that we were not successful there for the third year in a row. So he did say, however, I asked him what the rules were for consistently, reapplying for something more than once. And the rule is that you get extra points after your third try. So we've applied for 3 times. If you want to apply for that same one again, we'll get extra points for
Maybe we'll get it this time.
yeah.
To get some points.
And we seem to always miss it by a point or two.
It was very low, the number was very low that we missed it by, but still we
Right.
didn't get it, so.
And just as a reminder, that is a highly competitive program. So there's a lot of communities around the state, a lot of counties competing for utility grants and for street grants as well.
And this is probably early, and I know we had this discussion last year when we decided to reapply for this same grant again, and we were told, hey, it looks better this year because we added this and you did these things that they wanted.
Right.
Hopefully we would get some feedback before we had to make a decision on where we went, whether we reapplied or not, on more than just, hey, you're gonna get a point, or like a better idea of what kind of grants are winning over the ones that we're applying for. I don't know if there's anything we can do to make it more attractive. I thought we did what they asked in this last application, but some feedback as to what we need to do, or if we just need to scratch this project and start over with something that looks more attractive to them. Would be some, we can help with that some as well, but.
Well, and one thing that I considered is, your resurfacing program for next year has already been kind of laid out and set in stone. You have that in your CTP that you've already approved. So even though we won't get this block grant, we still can't resurface this road, 7749. And of course, there is no other funding for paving dirt roads, and that's what 2256 is. But for 7749, we're not going to be able to do anything to it next year anyway, unless you locate some other funding source that I don't know about, because your program for next year is set. You've already set and published that. So, if you decide you want to apply for it one more time, we can see what happens next year and maybe plan on addressing that the year after, if you so choose, or at least that would be an option. So I just wanted to throw that out
Mr.
there.
Chairman,
Go ahead.
we talking about a year out. I talked to the city police department and all of them, and they was talking about how bad that road is. That it take them anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes shorter to get there where they going because of the pothole. If the ambulance have to go out there, they might be 2 or 3 minutes late because of the pothole. Though some of them holes now is approximately 4 to 5 inches deep. And then it's embarrassing to drive down the road to see many people live in that area and the road is in the condition it's in.
Do we have an estimate on that particular road, what it would take to repair it?
A cost estimate?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we do. I don't have that information with me, but
Okay.
we do. Yeah, we have estimates.
Okay.
And the grant was for $350,000, that's
Yeah,
set.
for both of them.
Right, and we were putting, I want to say the cash match was somewhere around $60,000 to $80,000. But Commissioner Wright, I wanted to mention that, you know, anybody that you just mentioned that has a complaint about the road, or, you know, if it's causing anybody any problems, emergency, you know, first responders or whatever, if you do decide to reapply next year, we need to get letters from those people explaining the difficulties they're having. Anything like that would,
From what I hear, they'll be here one day, the next meeting. But I get with you, man, you go ride out there and just see personally, cause I've been out there, and it is in bad shape.
yes, sir, it definitely needs to be fixed.
Anything else? Go ahead, Russ.
Okay, the last item that we have under under current business is the countywide striping project. So we're handed out some information to you there. We're recommending the award to our sole bidder, Ozark Striping. And we also handed you separately a list of the roads that we're going to try to restripe under this project.
Let's go ahead.
That's all we have.
Questions? Comments? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
EMA?
I don't have anything under current business except one announcement that on January the 25th, we will be doing an open house and I guess official grand opening of the Meeksville shelter. We're inviting all the community in the Meeksville area to come out and get some information about, you know, the procedures should they have to open the shelter. And so we will be doing that on January the 25th in conjunction with the Meeksville community. Under current business, we're going to carry forward the actual policy and procedure till we can meet again, so there'll be no action on that tonight.
Good.
That's all I have at this time.
Questions or comments?
Did we get the meter put on?
Sir,
You have to put the meter on up there?
it's been on for that next day.
The next day?
Power's on out there. Everything's in there up and running down there.
All right.
One man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll get with you offline, but obviously, this one's fixing to, go into effect, or fixing to open, but this will also be our model. In other words, when we open another one, we'll wanna just pass these policies along. So in that light, I got a few things I wanna ask you about, logistically, how it goes from community to community, but we'll get together offline.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Harry. Attorney's report. Okay, thank you, Al. Commissioner reports, the fire chief is here, and I would ask Mr. Buford to come on up and talk about the fire and rescue truck.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for being here.
This is kind of in junction with the fire department, the city fire department, and the county commission with the city of Troy. Our rescue truck was involved in an auto accident in August. We thought it was going to be able to be repaired. We found out about 3 weeks ago it was not. We've been trying our best to get some hard numbers. We're hoping to send bids out first thing in the morning. And I just ask that I can give y'all some numbers. You know, and we can, I don't know if y'all can go and maybe try to do up to an amount, but I will not have hard numbers on the truck until next week, hopefully. But I've got the numbers on the tools and what the city is going to get reimbursed from the insurance company. And all the numbers that I have, everything will be less than $50,000 split after everything is completed between the city and the county, like we've done in the past. And this one's actually adding an extra set of rescue tools that will service the Pike County and the city.
Great.
So,
Questions? Comments?
Real quick. I think we probably know, but for everybody else's benefit, This truck was a joint venture, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Kind of explain that to.
From my understanding, that it's been going on for, ever since I've been with the city, that every time that the rescue truck needs to be replaced, the county provides half the funding for the vehicle, the city provides the manpower and any equipment needed. And, with this coming up, we just purchased a brand-new set of rescue tools about a year and a half ago, the city did. This would actually, if we did it the way that we've got it constructed now, this would actually give us 2 brand-new sets. And this truck, you know, it runs not just motor vehicle accidents. We have been out in the county on medical calls when resources are short. We run all hunting accidents, industrial accidents. We've actually been outside the county. When it's right on the line, we still go. And just a few numbers, in 2016, that truck made 214 calls in a year. In 2017, it made 248 calls, and in 2018, it made 239 calls in the county, not counting what it's used for in the city.
Question.
Yes, sir.
You said the accident happened in August?
Yes, sir.
Why we are just not knowing about it?
Well, we were told by the people that was doing the adjustments that it would be repaired. And once they got it up on a lift, they found that the front end had crumbled and had some impediment on the frame. And once the insurance company found that out, that's when they totaled it.
Anything else? Anything else? Thank you very much. You appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Administrator.
Okay, good afternoon. The first item I have is a reappraisal budget revision. This is something we have to report to the state every year, and in doing so, we found an error. Something was overstated by $20,000, and it should not have been in the professional services line item. It should have gone to the GIS system update line item. So all this is requesting that y'all formally move it from one line item to the other. It's not increasing expenses by anything. And it is something we need to go ahead and get approved because this has to do with the funding and how it comes through with the taxes with Revenue Commissioner Blair's office. If there's no questions on that, we have 3 items for executive session, pending and threatened litigation, security matters, and general reputation and character. I have spoken with our attorney, Alan Jones, and I believe he agrees that these are some items that we need to discuss in executive session tonight. 2 items that are not on there, they're more of just updates for y'all up under my report. The Hutton groundbreaking will be on December the 18th. If you would like to go, please let me know. They're asking everyone to park over in the parking lot beside Crystal's because there's no parking over at the new area right now, but they will be busing everybody over. The city will, if y'all want to go to that groundbreaking.
What time was that, 10 a.m.?
It starts at 10, but they said to be there in the parking lot 9:30, 9:45, if you can go. And y'all can just let me know, and I'll let them know how many are gonna be able to come. And we'll remind y'all about it too.
Okay.
The second item is on December the 11th, the Leadership Pike class with the Chamber of Commerce will be coming to see the office and the chambers in here at 1:30. If you'd like to come to that, please do. Just let me know if you're coming, and so that we can let them know who all's coming. If you can't come, I usually speak to them anyway, but if you can come, they'd love to have some commissioners here to talk to too. So just let me know if y'all can come to that. That's all up under the report. Up under current business, the first item that you might want to take action on would be the active network backup system proposal. I believe Commissioner Copeland, you have done some research on that.
Yeah, I talked to Jerry a little bit about that and kind of, it's hard to put in about a 2-minute synopsis, especially when it's talking about backup. But his recommendation, it is not something that we're not already doing. It's just in a different format, and it's supposed to allow him to bring us backup quicker. The way he explained it to me is because it's not Windows-based, and there was some technical stuff he told me that I really didn't understand of how that helped. And the second benefit to it was that it's a software-based instead of hardware-based like we have today. So it protects if something were to happen with the electrical system and our backups got shorted, then you wouldn't have it. This, on the other hand, would be something that would be off-site. And he said we were doing some off-site backup now, and he tried to explain some of the differences to me, but I couldn't really pick up other than this wasn't Windows-based. You know, it's a one-time cost
Yes.
is the biggest thing. It's it happens every day, but it's a one-time cost, which is not heard of in software, so I'm not sure how we got away from that. It's a $4,000 expense. I know our network and, you know, it is important because we have payroll and the things that we do here. I mean, it's not quite like shutting the whole community down, it's shutting our operation down, but that's still pretty important when somebody needs to get paid on Friday. So for the cost and what it does, being a one-time cost, I would say it would probably be a good thing to go ahead and take care of.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, you said $4,000.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. Just one thing.
Yeah, and at this time, I know the sheriff's department's already done it, and the revenue commissioner's office has done it. I'm not sure if the probate office has it or not. Y'all have something in place that's like it, I think.
Yeah, we have a system that does 3 different things, but it's not exactly what's on it.
Okay. But this would just be, it'll be something that we can come back up a whole lot faster if we were to be hit by ransomware and stuff like that that's going on.
Okay.
If y'all don't have any more questions on that, the next item would be, I will go back to the Pike County Fire and Rescue Truck and the industrial access, items that we were talking about. We were discussing how to fund those projects, and, we took the time to take a look and see how we could pay for the engineering costs with the UPI industrial access costs, which we have to fund. And then the rescue truck, if we were to, go ahead and do those items, we would be able to pay for those funds out of the lodging tax without compromising our minimum of $400,000.
Great.
There was some funds last year, a little bit of an increase that happened that's allowed us to have some extra funds in there.
Great.
So that we wouldn't have to touch any of the emergency money, that we could fund both of those projects out of.
Very good.
On the probate personnel, of course, we'll ask you to advertise the extended advertising and then, accept the resignation of Ms. Lee Gray in that office. The ambulance service, Chris Dozier is here with E911, and I was gonna let him speak to y'all about that a little bit more if that was okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Want to let y'all know we had one bid come in for the ambulance service with 2 different options. One was with no subsidy, the other was with a $70,000 a month subsidy. We're recommending the no subsidy option. The times on that were fairly close to what we had. I think the shortest time was in the Troy Fire jurisdiction. They had a little bit higher to reach the city of Brundage, and then the rural was about the same as Brundage, and then the super rural area, which is the outer parts of the county. So they were pretty close to what we had asked for.
That would have been my question, is it, you satisfied that it's set up?
Yeah. They went.
Outline that we set up for it.
Mm-hmm. They went to an average time. We had to work a few other things out with them, but I think we've gotten on the same page with them on requirements and all.
All right.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Explain how they're coming up with their averages. How did y'all?
They're gonna be calculated on a monthly basis, and we're gonna, look at those for each area if they're meeting just average them out.
And you'll have a way, I know another thing we were shooting for in this contract is you would have a way to know when they receive calls and things. Was that
Right, because
accomplished?
we'll go through by their times that they call out on their radio channel, and we will log those. They will also have their own in-house that we can check against, and if for some reason something doesn't get logged, we have that being recorded that we can go back as
Good.
timestamp when that happens too.
Great.
I know communications was one of the issues. You're satisfied that that's being accomplished in this new contract?
Yeah, as long as, with the penalties we've worked out, that will be something that we'll look at, that if we have an issue with them not putting it across the radio channel, we'll have to put a penalty in place for that to kind of push them to that.
Okay. Questions? Comment?
You answered my question.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Kenzie, you got anything else? Commissioner Wright?
I got a list here for leave for the wiregrass. What is done to show leadership potential to desire. We need some volunteer from Pike County. Every county is supposed to furnish an individual. It could cost $250, but I think that if we go send somebody for the, be a participant, the county should be able to take care of that $250 for them to be there. We need this, it's supposed to be kicked off for sometime in January. If anybody want to look at, read this, I got it, and got a phone number somewhere to call Anna if she can give you more information about it.
Okay.
It's basically a leadership, a 2-day leadership program, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I got one thing.
Go ahead.
I failed to stop you when we were going through the commissioner stuff. Last week was the annual legislative conference for the ACCA. I've, served on that legislative board for the last couple of years, and it's been eye-opening in some ways. And one of the things, I know Wes is here tonight, one of the reasons that we've been able to accomplish as much as we have, and with this commission, especially in the last year, is because of our communications with Montgomery and being able to get up with Wes and Senator Hawley and some of the things we could do. But one of the lead things that really affects Pike County, especially where we're at with the jail now, is there's a push for new legislation. Obviously, we've heard the prison overcrowding and all the things that they're planning on doing with prisons, and we've been told that this may be the year, and we'll see how that goes, that some of that happens. But the ACCA pulled out a lot of information about how it affected counties when they passed the legislation in 2015. And it was pretty interesting that I didn't realize part of our, I know this isn't all the funding woes, but part of the issues that a lot of county jails are having is the increased cost by the state pushing inmates down. And there's a report that's out there with ACCA that's available on their website. I'll send you guys a report, but just some really quick numbers. Counties as a whole have spent $63 million more over that time, about twice inflation over that time, making up the difference from what the state was doing with the inmates to now. And in Pike County, over the last, that time period, 2014, that cycle to 2018 last year, Pike County had spent almost $400,000 more, which is about an 18% increase, which is a lot more than the inflation rate. So, that's one of those things we asked for Wes's help with, and obviously the sheriff can talk a lot about how it affects not only population of the prisons, but more and more people that probably should be incarcerated out that he's having to arrest multiple times, because there's some facts and figures in this report that lead to that as well. But we've been, for the last 3 years, we've been figuring out how we're going to fund our jail and how all the increased costs that we're having to eat. Well, this is a pretty good insight into where some of those costs are coming from and how we can, by working with Wes and the people at the State House, try to get some of this under control. But I'll send you guys a link to that report.
Anything else need to come before the commission at this time? And now the work session is closed, and we'll convene for our regular meeting at 6 p.m. About 10 minutes.
Troy Cable is the leader in smart home security, giving you solutions to monitor, protect, and automate your home. Troy Cable Security keeps your property safe with 24/7 professional